Welcome back to Cruder.com. Let's take a look at a couple more real-life examples. In this first example, we're going to go back and take a look at how we can use data bars in a real-life situation. So if you have a simple P&L or even a normal P&L statement, you could easily highlight the cells that you want to go ahead and apply data bars to give your numbers a visual aspect to them by showing that sales are high, and then you can also show that your expenses, which expenses are very high and how significant they are in comparison to the others. So like this one, your cost of goods sold is very high, yet your interest expense and your amortization expense have very little sway on your overall bottom line or net profit. But tax expense is kind of creeping up, and same with SG&A. So let's go ahead and set this up quickly. All we have to do is delete it first. I'm going to pop down the ribbon with Control F1 and come in here and say clear my rules for my selected cells. This one's really simple, so I split it up in two different ones. And this is a quick access button one where you can just go to data bars and go through here and say, I want to highlight it like this. Or you could go in and do the new rule and do it the long method, which is formatting all cells based on their values using data bars. And I want to show both my numbers and the bar, so I'm not going to check this box. I'm going to leave the default settings of minimum and maximum being automatic. Solid fill, let's do a gradient fill. Let's change it to green and also put in a solid border with the green as well. Then let's take a look at this negative value and axis. And the fill color will be red if it's negative, which is fine. And then the border color, let's switch it to red. And let's just hit OK. And OK. And so it looks like this. Notice that you have a center line right here that splits the positive from the negative. So our sales, and then we had some returns during the month, so there was very little that popped there. Now for this next one, let's just go ahead and do the quick access button. So the data bars, I'm just going to grab this one and hit OK. And it's as simple as that. Notice that my green is a little bit different than this green just because it's the automated way versus my custom way. Let's go ahead and take a look at the second example here. In this next example, I've set up kind of like a matrix where I have columns going across and I have a bunch of rows. And so it's a 10 by 10 square that I've made here. And I've actually typed in a rand between formula between 0 and 99. So that's what these numbers are, 0 to 99. And it's a volatile formula, which means it will always recalculate whenever the spreadsheet recalculates. So if I hit enter, you'll notice that everything just changed. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to highlight the maximum in each row. So for this one, 99 was the highest and 95, 83. You can do this also for the min. You could say, hey, find the min, and you don't have to visually go and look for it like we're doing right now and find that 17 is the lowest in this row or 0 is the lowest. We could program it to say highlight the lowest. And so let's go ahead and do that for both the min and the max. I'm going to first delete the rule, pop down the ribbon with Control F1, come into conditional formatting, and clear my rules from the entire sheet. And this one, just like we've done in other ones with typing a formula, let's type the formula that's going to evaluate to a true and a false answer to the right and verify that it's going to work properly for the entire range that we're going to be applying it to. And then we'll copy it into our conditional formatting in a new rule. So we're going to start by saying, hey, we're trying to find the max in this row. And we want that to only evaluate true on the cell that's the highest. So this one would be, we'd want it to be in row 10. So if we label over here to the right, 1 through 10, we'd want to see, now it just recalculated because it's volatile. Now it's 7. So this will be changing as we go. We're going to try to write a formula over here where it's going to find the maximum number as true in this row here. So to do this, I'm going to say max in this range right here and just see what happens. So 96 gets pulled back. That's 96, so that's awesome. Now we want to see which column is that in, 1 through 10 here. And I want it to evaluate, hey, is number 1, is that column 96? And so I want to say, no, obviously 31 does not equal 96. Does 6 equal 96? No. But I want to get all the way down to 96 equals 96, and then that will equal true. And what we're trying to do is have it happen only on column 7 for this row. So in here, I'm going to pop back into it. I'm going to say, hey, is this cell right here, is that equal to the max in this row? And if I hit enter, hopefully it's going to say false, which it does. So let's go ahead right now and drag it over, and hopefully you'll notice that this will not work because of how I've written it, where when I hit F2, you'll see it's this range, then F2 again, and you can see, oh shoot, I didn't lock up my range. I'm dragging over the maximum past the actual data that I'm trying to look in. So let's get out of here. Let's pop into this first one and let's lock up that range. But we do want to drag it down, so we don't want to lock up the rows. Let's just lock up the columns. So let's rotate 3 times through to get the columns, hit enter, and let's copy it over and hit enter. Let's open it up, and as you can see, we have 1 true right here on column 9, and column 9, can we visually verify that that's true? 92, yep, that is the highest. So I'm going to go ahead and drag this down and pop this open. It looks like we've got a true here, true here, a true here, and it looks like it's working properly. We have a true in every single row, and the rest are falses. So I think this formula is correct now, so I'm going to grab it from the top left, go over here, Control Shift, and then say copy, Control C, hit enter, and just like we've done in the past, make sure you highlight starting on that top left corner because that's the formula that I copied from. So I need to make sure that this is the active cell, the other ones are just part of the selection. Now I can go into conditional formatting, make a new rule. For the new rule, it's a formula, and when this formula right here that we've typed out here equals true, we want it to, let's have this highlight as a lighter green, and then we'll do the min as a lighter red. Okay, okay again. So that's awesome. Notice here, this is kind of neat. So both 83 happened twice in the same row, so it highlighted both of them because it equaled that twice. Now let's go ahead and switch this up. So let's switch it up with the min, and this is all we have to do. Just hit min, and we can hit enter, and what we can do here is we can actually select the whole box, pop into it again, Control Enter, and that will fill everything with that. So this time it's saying 5 right here, so 5 is the lowest, then we have 2. Yep, that makes sense. So let's pop in here, Control C, copy that, highlight from the top left down to the bottom right, and add a new rule. Formula, Control V. This time it's saying min, and we're going to format that with a lighter red. Let's pop in here. Let's say take this red custom. Let's pop it down a little bit. It's almost like pink. Hit OK and OK. And now we have our mins and maxes all in one row. And if we continually refresh this with F9, you'll see that Excel can calculate this ultra fast. We can delete these to the right and then come on back. And so it's really as simple as that. Once you get in the routine of writing the formula off to the right, then making sure that it's evaluating as true where you want it to evaluate true over on the left side, then that will be getting the formatting wherever it's true. The falses will not get formatted.